All right, we got Benson on the line. Hopefully his headset is sounding a little bit better, guys. Apologies for the technical difficulties. But Ben, we're picking things up now with our number 5 seed. So far, we've told the crew that we got Optic Nation coming in with the top seed. Team Caliber is going to be in the second side of the bracket with the number 2 seed. Optic Gaming comes in number 3, and FaZe number 4. So, one thing you'll notice there's no Envy in our top 4. Envy is coming in with the 5th seed. They're going to have to play on Friday night as Merc, Nameless, JCap, and Formal are trying to defend their title and win back-to-back tournaments after taking G3.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time actually with Team Envious over in Germany when they came over for Gamescom. Just speaking to them in general, having a chit chat, and those guys were so happy to finally bring Team Envious a championship. Obviously, your G3 victors, and in all honesty, I think that's just changed the game completely for them. Like mentally, they've always had that hurdle. Just Team Envious as a whole. Like Hastro's obviously owner of Team Envious. He's always said, "Guys are going to bring home a championship. The guys are going to bring home a championship." They never did. Finally, now they've done that. I'm expecting them to come out of the gates so hot come Friday night, or tomorrow evening, I should say. And Merc is kind of in that position where I think now he's hungrier than ever to just win another championship.
It's going to be fun to watch, and I'm really excited to see, are they still playing at the same level as they were at G3? Because Formal was definitely one of the best players I've ever seen in COD. He went off that tournament, but so did the rest of the squad. They all played very well, especially the captain when needed. But did that break at Gamescom? Did that affect them? They haven't been practicing. They played a lot of Advanced Warfare. They were touching Halo Master Chief Collection. How trained and how focused are they coming into this? Denial comes in at our number 6 spot, though, and Zuma has really built up a nice roster around him. Replays, Study, and Saints now fill out this squad, and after their recent wins in the COD League, they're now above a 500 record. How high can Denial place this weekend?
Replays has been a big fan of Zuma for a very long time. I remember, speaking to Replays when he considered actually retiring not so long ago, and I was like, hey, no, dude, let's not be rash here. Obviously, you can find yourself a team. And he was like, one of the only players I really want a team with is Zuma. And sure enough, he found himself sitting in a very nice team there because, Study, he's a name, obviously, he used to play for Team Envious, and he was unfortunately dropped, but the player on this game, again, kind of came to life. His sniping was second to none, in all honesty. His sniper shot is just lethal when it's on form. But is it going to be the Study from a couple of months ago, or is it going to be, a not-so-focused Study? That's going to be the big question. Obviously, Saints as well, a fantastic player. US champion, really has played very well throughout Call of Duty Ghosts, but it's kind of like a blend of players, if you will. Like, it doesn't really look good on paper. I think when you see it, I think it's going to be incredible.
All right, we'll see how does Denial perform. Another squad that I'm not sold on is going to be Curse this weekend. Now, Curse, of course, did not have Tipsy with them at Gfinity. Tipsy could not get his passport in time. Instead, they played with their coach, who's now actually competing, Crowster. And this is going to be interesting because Curse did not look good at all at our last tournament. Burns was saying he had one of his worst at Anaheim as well. Or not Anaheim, excuse me, at Gfinity. How will they perform in Dallas? Tipsy, Burns, Mochila, and Enable.
They've kind of crumbled a little bit, if I'm honest. It doesn't look like the same Curse that we saw just dominate at Anaheim. And a lot of people going into Anaheim were saying, oh, Curse, they're online warriors, they're never going to play well. And of course, Curse come out with a 4th place finish. And everyone's like, oh, wow, that was actually kind of impressive. Come the next season of COD League, in all honesty, they have just kind of not played at all. I think their domination record is abysmal. I caught up with Burns in Germany. He was saying, hey, we just cannot win a domination to save our lives. Their S&D inputs is great.
Right.
Putting these guys back on a LAN environment, hopefully they can try and bring themselves back to that kind of Anaheim mentality that they had going into it. But I know going into this tournament, they're not really as focused as they should be. And for me, that puts a lot of pressure on Enable. Enable, a Halo champion, he knows how to win. He's one of the only players on that team that actually knows how to win. No one else on the team has actually ever won a championship. Obviously, he won in Halo, but still, I'm the kind of person that thinks if you've ever won something, you know what it takes to win again. Exactly. So Enable knows exactly what he needs to do to transfer that over to COD. He was fighting for a very long time with Formal, obviously, to be the first player to win a Call of Duty title and a Halo title. Formal now, of course, beaten to it at G3. But I know Ian. I know he definitely wants to win on COD. I know he does. So I'm looking at him really to try and bring that team together. and hopefully play well this weekend.
Let's keep this moving. I'm pretty sure the Curse fans are going to be angry with me a little bit later in the show. I apologize in advance. But Most Wanted fans might be, I might be your new favorite person. I'm a huge fan of this squad. Huddle, Slack, Spacely. I've known these guys since the start of Black Ops 2. That's where I got my introduction. That's where they broke out on the main stage. Classic, he did it in the very first game of Call of Duty Ghost on the MLG main stage. So I love this young, talented lineup. All of these guys can go big whenever they need to. We saw Slacked and Space League kind of run the show 2 days ago in the MLG COD League, and then last night it was Huddle and Classic. So, how good is Most Wanted? They most recently won our 2K tournament following Optic's win in the 5K. So they're coming off a big online tournament championship. How well will they play on LAN? That is still to be determined. Our next squad to look at outside of the top 8, our first team outside the top 8, is Strictly Business. Methods, Stainville, John, and Fizzerp. That means we'll be matching up against Most Wanted in our first round. And this is really the squad I wanted to see at X Games. Stainville, Methods, John, Fizzerp, and Stainville played together at X Games. Methods was just too young, and he's arguably their best player, Ben.
Yeah. I think it's great to see Fizzip as well within a team. A lot of people have said, oh, he's always going to be by himself. He's never going to find a team. But those guys gel together is going to be lethal. I really, really expect them to do very, very well this weekend. I think they have it all. They have, Stainville's experience. They have John's raw talent, Methods. He's going to be there for some jokes as well as his Call of Duty. That's always for sure. And then Fizzip in S&D. Blend those guys together, and that is a very, very talented squad of players.
Rounding out the rest of our championship bracket, we have Vanquish coming in. This is Miyagi, Slasher, Chino, and Sender. You know them now as NOBLE.VANQUISH after being acquired. Sender coming over to the squad, joining up with Chino, Slasher, and Miyagi, who are all kind of substitutes coming into the week. So I'm really excited to see these guys because they've been performing much better than the old Elevate squad started off in our Season 3. Can they keep the wins coming? I think this is one of the hungrier teams coming into the tournament.
Yeah, you can't ever doubt them on that. The hunger is going to be fully there. All those players want to try and win a championship, but I think it's going to be very, very difficult for them to do that. They're going to need to all be on the same par. They're going to need to have the best event of their lives all together. I don't think it's going to be a case where, two people can just go off and everyone else can kind of just sort of be slacking a little bit. They all need to come together as a team, and they need a fantastic event.
Moving on, we got VEXX coming in with the number 11 spot. This is a Pro Points team in the making. Pluto back with Saint. Remember, these two qualified for Season 2 together. Mud Dog added to the lineup after bouncing around to a number of places. And Jay Rich is really getting his first time to shine in the championship bracket, playing with some veterans.
Yeah, it's good to see Mud Dog back in a full team, as you said. Obviously, Saint as well. I believe those two have played a lot in the past year together. Pluto and Jay Rich. I may be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure Jay Rich was actually a Curse Orange substitute from last season. So those guys have some big chemistry with that team. But I don't know how much they've been grinding out as much as they should. Obviously, you said a Pro Points team in the making. I know they love playing, but I may be correct in saying they play a lot, not as a full 4. Someone can probably correct me on that, but every time I try to tune into their streams, etc., hasn't been the full 4 playing. They've been playing with different people, but always playing at least COD. So that's going to do them benefits, I guess you could say, because as you mentioned earlier on, a lot of players have been trying to mix with different games. Obviously, some lucky enough to play Advanced Warfare, others playing completely different franchises.
We'll see. Is this the new E-Girl Slayer style lineup coming in? Finally, we got Justice, Twiz, BL Fire, Sin, and Doubt rounding out our top 12. You know all of these guys, some of them coming over from Xfinity. BL Fire and Twiz playing together for a while now. We'll see what they can get done this weekend, but moving right past Justice into our open bracket squads as we finish out this early segment. Let's take a look at our top 4 open bracket teams coming in. Our top seed is Rise Nation. They currently hold the number 1 spot in Season 3 as well. They've earned their chance by getting through the Season 3 open bracket at Anaheim, and they are performing. But a lot of people are saying it's only because they have their routers with them. This weekend, it's all about the LAN, but I'm expecting similar results. Remember, they were able to meet up with Optic Nation in the grand finals on LAN at Anaheim.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
You don't agree with me. It's okay.
I mean, no, it's not that I don't agree with you. It's just I think that team as a whole, they've been a team throughout this year that have always said, we deserve that. Why aren't we there? You know, we deserve spots here. We deserve spots there. And they've always played very, very well. So the determination, drive, and hunger is with that team. But it's whether they can sort of pull together when it counts. Because I think they're that type of guys who are going to want to say, hey, we went to the last event on the game, and we pretty much just dominated. That's the kind of mentality they have. So they have maybe a few more events left in this game, so who knows?
I'm looking for Grandpa Pac-Man to take over these young guns on this team. Get them lined up, not distracted, and focused. If so, I think Rise Nation has a chance of going really far. A few other teams that I want to call out here. So Rise Nation, of course, is getting the #1 seed. So that means they'll be playing off against FaZe in first round. Our #2 seed, Annex, is going to be playing off against our second highest team, Optic Gaming. So this is going to be really interesting. Nihil, Wolf, Demented, and FaZe. Here from Annex, these guys caused a lot of ruckus down at AEL. A little Twitter drama there, but a pretty solid top 5 finish. Then you're going to see Mutiny Elite coming in with the #3 seed. And also in the same portion of the open bracket is Excellence Gaming. Now, let me ask you, between these two teams, Benson, assuming that both of them are able to carry their seeds to that final match in the open bracket, Croster, Trojan, Modi, or Thing 2 versus Diabolic, Facento, Cosmo, and Snipe Down.
That's going to be so close. It really is, I think. Croster, don't underestimate him. Obviously, people saying, oh, he didn't play that well at G3. He still played well. You got to remember that wasn't his full team. He was actually coach of the team, but he has taken time out coaching. He's now back playing. On the other side, you know, Facento, in my mind, one of the most naturally talented and gifted players I've seen play Call of Duty for a very, very long time. And Snipe Down as well. Those guys put together could be a potent combination. So for me, flip a coin. It's literally going to be that close, I think.
By the way, everyone on Twitter who hates when I say Nihil, I just do it to piss you guys off. I know it's Nihil. I just do it to get you all riled up and excited. So, Ben, did you pick one between these Mutiny, Elite, and Excellence roster squads? Because I'm going Excellence here. I have faith in Snipe Down. These guys finished top at AEL. You know, they were right behind the Top Dogs Curse and Team Caliber. I'm looking for a big performance from these guys.
I'm going to go with Mutiny.
You got Mutiny. All right.
I'm going to put faith in Croster to really come through and play very well. Obviously, Trojan, Moti, and Thing too. Fantastic plays as well.
Yeah, Modi's actually one of the best subs I've ever seen. He's looking so good in Season 3.
As well as that, you have to think, if you put all those 8 players there, only one of those players was at COD Champs, and that was Crow. Now, I know you may think, well, that's nothing to really go by. It's completely different since then. But in terms of his mentality, I think that's going to be enough to pull him through. He wants to win. He's always wanted to win. Seeing what it's like to play on the biggest stage, and I know. I have faith in Croster.
Well, the good news is only one of them is getting through the to the championship bracket, at least on the winners bracket side. So there'll be all kinds of interest around that match. Snipe Down, buddy. Get it done for the Halo fans. Let me know how you're doing. And then, of course, our 4th seed is going to be Stunner. Stunner will have to face off against Optic Nation in round 1. Cold Chan, VEXX, TJ Halley, and Jump. Thoughts on this crew here, Ben?
TJ Haley is a great player, I'm not gonna lie. Cold Chan as well, put together with that combination of VEXX and Jump, it'll be pretty decent, but I think, again, it's gonna be one of those where they can't afford to have a bad series at all throughout the whole tournament, but they could definitely cause some upsets, so keep your eyes out on them.
All right, so that's a look at our top seeds in the open bracket. We also talked about all 12 in the championship bracket. On the other side of the commercial break, I've combined them into one. We'll be taking a look at the bracket, breaking down every single match from round 1 of UMG Dallas.